Okay, folks, good morning and welcome to Swing Trading Today. This is Bob Desmond, and it is 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, February the 9th. Today we're going to talk about Bitcoin. Is it a bubble or is it going to $100,000? We'll talk about that in the chart in a moment. We're also going to talk about the next leg of this market and how the groundwork appears to be getting laid by the media and by the major banks to create a narrative that would send this market lower. And I believe that there is a more, I wouldn't say nefarious, but more of an opportunist way that they're going to play this market in the midterm. And then we're going to talk about the pre-market futures. How are we setting up on the day? Do we get a continuation breakout or do we get a continuation breakdown? I need to amend that. It's certainly not a continuation breakdown. It would be a breakdown. Scratch the continuation. All right, but before we go over the sorry, folks. I decided to return a message. The charts and go over our topics for this morning. I want to talk to you about our sponsors over at TrendSpider. Folks, you need to get to the next level of your trading software. Automated technical analysis using algorithms is the place to be. The banks are using it. Your neighbor trading out of his house is using it. You need to be using it too, so that you're automating your grunt work, saving you time, speeding up your analysis, and while you're speeding up your analysis, you're improving your accuracy. It's a must. By improving your accuracy, you're reducing costly analytical mistakes. Use their backtesting and their alerts to find winning chart setups, and also time your trades with precision. And I'm going to show you how to set up those alerts today. I'll be using TrendSpider later on in this commentary. Stick around. You can explore their product. Use the link below, 35% discount code, cheapest price on the web. They have a demo. There's your 7-day free trial offer. A lot of great benefits to you. And I would strongly encourage you to jump on that 35% discount code and get started on your journey to more accurate and speedier technical analysis. And you can always outsource it to me at the Contrarian Trader. And I also give away TrendSpider for free with my silver and gold level memberships. It's included. I shouldn't say it's free. It's included in your membership. So let's get to what I think the narrative is being set up here. So let's take a quick look. I'm going to come back to OPTT. There's a reason why it's up there to begin with. So yesterday, the S&P 500, this is the value of automated trend lines. Let's take these off. Throw them back on. This is a daily chart. Click of a button. Bam. That's your algorithm working for you. We broke out yesterday. The probability of higher highs today is very strong. Let me throw up the IWM, the small caps. An alert fired off late day yesterday. God, that's driving me crazy. Late day yesterday. And it told me that we hit long-term resistance. Not one resistance level, but two. And you can see right here, it fired off about 13 hours ago. So did I make a move on it? No, we're already short. I'm looking to add to the short. So we'll be looking for possibly another move up higher to where? Guess what? Click of a button. There's more resistance above. So we may move up higher on the IWM. And it's at that point Well, we'll sit back. We'll watch after the market close or near the market close. Do we want to go adding to our short? Or does it still like a very, very strong chart? And it's very important if you're going to try to short this market. I wouldn't do the S&P 500, nor would I do the NASDAQ 100 either, or the TripQs. I think they're going to make another leg up higher. The Russell 2000, the IWC, which is the micro caps, very extended here, especially the micro caps. We'll go to that chart in a moment. Possible add to short. No rush here. It's a strong market. We may be contrarians, but we respect, we'll leave that active for 10 days. We respect the trend. Now, taking a look at the IWC or the micro caps. Sorry, folks. It's driving me crazy, too. The micro caps blew through the roof yesterday. They had a breakout on Friday, continuation move higher on Thursday they broke out. Friday, continuation move higher. Oops, sorry, first cup of coffee. This is Friday. This is Monday. It's Tuesday, Bob. Sorry, it's 5:07 in the a.m. Give a guy a break. All right, so we broke out yesterday, and it looks as though we're heading up here to this upper band of resistance. Again, the value of automated trend lines. Now, this is probably an even more attractive short than the IWM. Not quite yet, though. It's going up higher. So be patient. Okay. So we'll keep this active for a few days, 10 days. I doubt it's going to take that long, but we'll fire off all those breakthrough touch bounds. And we are good to go here. As a matter of fact, I want to keep sensitivity very low. There we go. Okay. So we're good to go here. I think we're going to get higher highs across the board. Yes, the averages are down in the pre-market. They're not down big. And tops in the market usually don't come with a morning where you're flat on the session. They usually come when you wake up, you're near or at or near resistance, and you have bright green futures. You can't get more giddy and bullish. Yet they spike the market up higher, only to reverse it. Sellers move in, and they close down on the day. That's the beginning of your correction. I don't think we're there yet. We could be, but the futures aren't pointing to that. So let's talk a bit, before we go to the futures, let's talk a bit about what the narrative is being set. And for those that don't believe that there is a narrative set by the Wall Street banks in collusion, or with the assistance, I should say, of the media, think again. Remember, not this past weekend, the weekend prior, the conversation was all about silver and how they were going to spike up silver. This was a Friday. This was a Monday, the weekend in between. The media was riddled. This is a chart of SLV, daily chart, with conversations about how Wall Street Bets was going to spike the silver market. There's only two problems. One, the silver market is far larger than GameStop, AMC, and BlackBerry combined. The second problem, they denied it. There was nothing on their message board over the weekend that would imply that they're looking to jack up the price, and they kept calling it fake news. And I took a look at the charts, and I said, you know what, to members, this is a pump and dump. Look who owns the shares of the SLV. Citadel, the worst enemy of Wall Street Bets, Morgan Stanley, etc. It's all published, public information. Why would they help out these banks? Doesn't make sense. So, sure enough, fast forward, they pumped it, they dumped it. Now, let's do a fast forward. What's coming out in the news now? This is a comment out of Goldman yesterday, Goldman Sachs. With scorching economy set to overheat, Goldman brings forward first rate hike estimate. Folks, we lost hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of jobs last week. We continue to lose hundreds and hundreds of thousands of jobs each week. Economies, state economies are still closed. Yet, Goldman is calling for a rate hike. Another headline. This is the narrative. It's forming, folks. Be aware of it. Will surging QE yields crash stocks? A Q&A from Goldman. There their name is yet again. Do they have a point? Does Goldman have a point? Let's check it out. Are they accurate? They are. I've been talking about this chart for months. I drew this red line only a few weeks ago, expecting it to act as resistance. It did not. We broke through it like a hot knife through butter last week, and we're poised to make new higher highs. So the chart is matching the narrative. And at some point in time, as yields continue up higher, Wall Street, I'm not going to say is going to begin to buy, because frankly, they are not the ones buying here. How do I know? All you need to do is take a look at volume. Look at this volume. Horrible, horrible volume. I went over this on Market Wrap with members last night. It's posted in the members area that across the board, volumes were terrible. What do I believe is happening right now? I think as they inch this market up higher with the support of algorithms bidding up the market on 100 share lots, hitting the ask, and with the amateur investor moving in there, betting the market's going to the moon, that the Wall Street banks are building a short position. And at some point in time, you're going to get a ridiculous article similar to one of these, because it's going to come midday. It'll probably be a conversation on CNBC, and then you're going to see the sellers move in. Why would they take the market down lower? Well, why not book profits here and now? Then, meaning long profits, get short. Then, as the market sells off and you see panic in the market, the banks should rebuild their long positions, book profits on shorts. Then when the checks go out from the government, more stimulus, position in advance of those checks hitting Wall Street. So net short now, book profits on panic, get long on panic, in anticipation of more stimulus, ride the market up higher. So I think that we're due for a correction, not necessarily a crash, because we have way too much stimulus. And I think that's the game that's being played right now. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Tesla coming out yesterday saying that they're going to look to buy, or they have bought. I'm not sure what they specifically said, but it's the headline that matters. 1.5 billion in Bitcoin. Bitcoin hit a high overnight of $48,208.59. Amazing. Is this a bubble? No. People said it was a bubble a few weeks ago when we corrected. I said it's not a bubble, it's a correction. Could we have a significant pullback from here? Sure. Monthly chart, we have RSI 89.15. Weekly chart, we have RSI 84.37. It was up here above 90, and then we got the correction. The same thing can happen yet again. There's a lot of hot institutional money. I'm going to use the word threatening. I don't know if they're buying this or whether they're pumping it. So be careful here. Now, this can continue up higher. I'm not going to be a buyer of it. I was an owner. I sold it. Now, I'd be looking for a pullback and perhaps adding on a pullback. Not right here, not right now. Too much risk, not enough reward. Conclusion, though, this is not a bubble. This is a huge secular move up higher. Can we go up to $100,000 per share? I don't see any reason why we can't. So Bitcoin, still bullish. I haven't gone any over comments yet. Hey, McCarter. YOLO, yes, that's right. You only live once. First Tesla, now Apple. I heard about Apple too, that's right. Didn't they say $5 billion Apple? Let's go to the futures market. All right. Let's begin with the Russell 2000. We went over this earlier on a daily time frame. It remains extended on an intraday basis, 4-hour basis, with RSI 78.98. Now, while it's overbought, can it move up higher? You darn tootin'. It's trying to break out right now out of this flag formation. The momentum here is still very, very strong. The problem is there's no volume. So it's being toyed with. That being said, would I go adding to shorts at the open today? No way. No way. We need to see a break. Discipline. Now, taking a look at the S&P 500, you know, they're red this morning. They're red, but they're flat. You know, it's a margin of error here. We're very, very close to going positive. We're very, very close to breaking out. I showed you the chart earlier on TrendSpider of how we broke through resistance yesterday. And we're probably going to, I shouldn't say yesterday, I keep doing that. We broke through resistance on Friday, and we had a continuation move up higher yesterday. So there's our flag formation on a 4-hour time frame. These are the S&P E-minis. It looks as though we're going higher. McCarter, I heard something about Bumble dropping their IPO. Heard some rich people were getting in for the pump. Do you have any thoughts about something like that, Bob? Not really. My buddy works at a bar in a resort in Hawaii, and he overheard a lot of big money talking. Yeah, right there I get a little bit concerned. I don't know anything about what's going on over at Bumble. When were they supposed to IPO? Let's check out the NASDAQ 100. NASDAQ 100, very similar to the NASDAQ. excuse me, the S&P 500. I got a good night's sleep last night, and I can't speak today. I can't blame it on not sleeping. There we go. All right, very tight. We're flat here. Okay, so we may be red on the futures. This is flat. You don't get much flatter than this. So when we see something like this, we're red on the morning, we're consolidating. I fall back on, no matter what your position is, long, short, always follow the path of least resistance, which at current is higher. That's probably where we're going. So NASDAQ 100 looks as though we're going up higher. The Dow, same thing here. You know, I don't follow the Dow all that much anymore, but we're flat. Looks as though probably going to head up higher. Let's segue over to the dollar, talk about commodities for a bit. The dollar took it on the chin overnight, really hard. We have an inside bar, this new 4-hour bar, which opened up at 5 a.m. So that doesn't close until 9 a.m. We could easily fade here, or we could close within this bar. If we close within this bar, we set up for consolidation. If we fade, well, lower lows, and then we set into the scope an 80 handle on the U.S. dollar. That's the next leg down. Since we're talking about the dollar, we need to segue now into gold, which is now catching a bid. We're just shy of the 1850 mark. Critical resistance on a 4-hour time frame, daily time frame, weekly time frame, 1850 on gold. I'm going to create an alert here. All right. At or above, at or above. There we go. All right, so our alert's set. 1850. Gonna move this up a little bit higher. There we go. Okay. Where is silver? Silver. We're along with both silver and the silver miners, both of which had a good day yesterday. And I do believe that, and pardon the pun here, I do believe that the rally in Bitcoin is taking some of the luster off of gold and silver. Dun-dun-dun. So silver is up nearly a percentage point this morning, looking good. We'll remain long here. At some point in time, we'll be adding. Set up an alert. And we're good to go. Let's check in with light sweet crude. Continues to move up higher. Coming off the highs of the session, we hit RSI near 90 on a 4-hour time frame. Pretty nuts. So it looks like we're going to take a pause here. I didn't mean to click that. I want to go to Nat Gas. Here we go. Nat Gas is taking a pause. Energy had a good day yesterday. Volume a little bit light, but strong price action. We may get a pullback today on energy with both commodities, light sweet crude and nat gas, pulling back. Now, taking a look at a few First, before I go to ag, I see 10-year yield in front of me. I want to grab it. All right, so the 10-year yield is moving up higher. Excuse me. Bonds are moving up higher. Therefore, yields are pulling back. That's a good thing. Very good. Yeah. Note how we're putting in higher lows on the 10-year Treasury note. That means that the 10-year yield is in all probability pulling back. Yeah, the 30-year bond yesterday put in a two handle. I'm looking at the VIX here. And I went over this with members last night. It was pointed out by one of our members because I talk about it all the time. And he was good enough to point it out to me, fellow member Manoj. He goes, Bob, the S&P 500 is up along with the VIX. And that's a telltale sign that you have institutional money buying up VIX options to hedge their long positions. And they're expecting volatility on stocks. So this morning, while you're seeing the S&P 500 down very, very slightly, near flat, you have the VIX up nearly a percentage point. And we are consolidating here. So while the past couple of days we've seen S&P 500 move up to higher highs, new all-time highs, the VIX has been flat. And take note of RSI. We bottomed out with a W formation, let's call it on Sunday. And then ever since, we've been putting in higher lows. So beware the VIX. We're still trading down below the 20-period moving average in blue. Not a bunch of momentum here by any stretch of the imagination, but you can't argue the consolidation. And the longer the consolidation, the greater the validation of any breakout. So beware this market. It could still move up higher, but we're far closer to a short-term top than we are to a bottom. For whatever reason, MacArthur, they blocked your comment. Let's show that. MacArthur, they blocked your comment for whatever reason. Let me see if I can unblock it. I don't know why they. I don't know why they do that. They held your message for review. That's so crazy. He didn't write anything bad. I'm trying to figure out how to unblock it. It doesn't give me the opportunity. If you want to retype that in, whatever you typed in earlier about fintech, I'll make sure it gets posted. I can't delete the message. MacArthur, great pickup, Manoj, and Bob on the VIX. Yeah, I'll credit Manoj for picking that up yesterday. There you go. They didn't block it this time. Fintech's ETFs will go bonkers. Are you talking about those ARK ETFs? They're pretty hot right now. But the valuations are crazy. I read a brief blurb about ARK over the weekend. Yeah. Now I know what you're talking about. Yep. We're on the same page. All right, let's take a look at we'll take a couple of this one here, folks. Gold money. Huge move yesterday. Up over 19% on the day. And I think this is going up higher. A little bit stretched for those looking to open up a position. But I think this is going up higher. We own this longer term hold. Great day yesterday. And we have a huge breakout. This 3 handle has been long-term resistance, and we are now significantly above it. So gold money going higher. What else do we have here? Where's wheat? All right, we have corn. Let's go to corn. New weekly high. Food prices ripping, folks. We have CPI coming out later this week. Soybeans ripping. These are weekly charts. Ripping. Oats. No breakout yet, but very, very close. Tektrium has ETFs, or ETNs, I should say, for both corn and wheat. I'm not sure if they have for oats. Beautiful breakout here. So the Federal Reserve is going to say, oh, there's no inflation. Don't worry about it. There's no inflation. CPI says so. Keep in mind that the CPI has been manipulated ever since Reagan got into office. I love the guy, but I don't like the fact that they manipulated, and it wasn't just him. It's every single administration that manipulates the CPI for their own advantage. Let's check out protein. Protein ripping up higher. I was in the supermarket over the weekend looking for some steaks. I was over at Costco. Prices of beef through the roof. Where's cattle? These are feeder cattle. They broke out weekly time frame, pulled back, retested. I think we're going to get a continuation breakout. Brace for inflation, folks. Wall Street's going to say, no inflation, don't worry about it. Until, of course, it suits them. Until they're net long of gold and silver. The Federal Reserve certainly is not going to admit to inflation. But it's here. I'm showing you the charts. I can't make this up. Multi-year highs for this stuff. Let's take some chart requests. I had to go to the members area. I hate when I don't have this up right away. I know it bores people. All right, I want to go over OPTT first up. For those that are new, I did a video on this quite some time, actually 2 videos, a follow-up video, and we're pretty accurate on our call here. The only thing that I'll need to freely admit where I was not accurate was where I believed that after a pullback, I predicted a pullback both instances. We got a pullback both instances. I was looking for a pullback down to here. We came close, no cigar. I even kept some sensitivity on this alert. Didn't happen. And subsequent, we have broken out. This, to me, personally, as an individual, I cannot give financial advice, is ready to break out. Especially if oil continues up higher. Now, oil this morning appears poised for a pullback. So we may not get the breakout right here, right now. But we have broken out on OPTT. We are pulling back. It looks as though we are now going to get a continuation move up higher. So what I want to do is set my alert when we break out above that level. We'll enter or add on breakout. When I say add, that's just in case we've already opened a position on another retest of this breakout point. In fact, let's do that. We'll keep the same sensitivity on. We've been waiting a while to get long here. And I'll show you why. We use the daily chart as our timing mechanism to get long. We're not day traders here. We're swing traders, investors. We're looking for opportunities for the interim and the longer term. So when I'm looking at the daily chart, that's just for my setup. I'm looking for higher lows and continuation breakout patterns. Here's the real deal here. Look at this monthly chart. The probability of us making higher highs is very, very good, unless, of course, oil, the economy, and nat gas fall apart. As long as those prices continue up higher, renewable energies, and that's the sector, I should have said that. Ocean Power Technology, OPTT, is in the renewable energy space. So as oil, gas move up higher, the cost effectiveness of their technology becomes more reasonable. So OPTT looking good, short term, long term. Now, I have some chart requests here from members. I have a hard stop in a few minutes. Blackline Inc., very nice chart, monthly time frame. We broke out above 141.28. If we get a pullback and a retest, I would, in fact, I'm going to take, I don't care if it breaks down. If it breaks down, I don't want any part of it. So our alert is set. We're looking for a monthly pullback. You know what? I'm not even, I'm going to remove this. I'm going to keep this resistance level or support level now. Was resistance, is now support. I want to see it on all time frames. And I want to go down here to a weekly chart, maybe even a daily chart. Yeah, daily chart. Better. I want to know when we retrace back down here on a daily time frame. So I'm using a monthly support level on a daily time frame. This is multi-time frame analysis. Now, yesterday we got extended on Blackline, trading up and into the third standard deviation Bollinger Band. So the probability of a pullback here is pretty good. Just keep in mind, if we start closing down below 141.30 to especially 139.43, you want to avoid, because those are two key support levels. So BL looking good, longer term, short term. I suspect we'll get a pullback here. QS for Mike. Let's get log off. Monthly time frame. I'm not familiar with this stock. Okay. Not a lot of data here. Forget monthly chart. I don't like this candlestick whatsoever. It's a bearish key reversal bar. Weekly chart becomes a bit more constructive. So, as a matter of fact, I have gone over this chart before. I have an alert set here. We bounced. This did not fire off yet. Came close, but no cigar. We're up and into 3 volume shelves, 2 major, 1 minor, that we're going to have to work our way through. Do we have a setup here on a daily time frame, or do we wait for a pullback? if you're dead set on buying it, I'd be okay. No, as a matter of fact, I didn't see this candlestick. I would not buy it. It broke down yesterday. It broke support. So I would wait for our initial strategy of waiting for it to come down to weekly support to fire off. Our alert is already set. Here it is here. Actually, I have two alerts set. One up here, one down here. We're in wait and see mode. This is what I like to call this time period. Wait and see mode. Let's see whether or not we pull back, fire off an alert at support. Great risk reward entry point. If it holds and we begin to break out above resistance, great place to start adding more. So I would wait here. I'd be on hold. Our alerts are set. KMPH for Will. Beautiful day yesterday. Monthly chart first. Very close to a major breakout here. Very, very close. I would use, let's call it 1025. Here, let's do this. Bam. Let's round it up. 10, I would say let's go with 1050. Nice round number. 1050. A breakout above that mark would have me interested. Let's make sure that I'm able to see this on all time frames. For whatever reason, it's not letting me. Let's remove this, start fresh. There we go. All time frames. Good. So this way I'm able to see it not just on a monthly chart, but down to a 15-minute chart or lower. So I'm going to create an alert. No sensitivity. All I care about is a breakout. In fact, I'm not going to set it here. I'm going to do it on a lower time frame. Let's go to a daily time frame. Let's take log off. There we go, better. Now we have a little bit of a conflict here between TrendSpider and I. I'll point that out to you in a moment. I'm typing here R number 1, resistance number 1 of 2. Why do I say that? I didn't talk about 2, right? But TrendSpider picked up another resistance level above. I'll take the trend lines off. See this one up here? This is my manually drawn one. Here is TrendSpider. Actually, no, I did this one. I have a conflict amongst myself. All right, so we have 2 resistance levels above either way. We've picked off. It wasn't the automated trend lines. It was me. I've already gone over this chart. So 2 resistance levels above. I have 2 alerts set. Wait for a breakout here. If we break out above, what did I say? Let's call it 1050 per share. Then be aware that you have resistance up at around $11 per share. Do we have any requests in the chat box? All right, we're not. MJ, McCarter. You had mentioned MJ, the cannabis. Yeah, they were looking really, really good last week. I haven't looked this week. We'll leave off with MJ. Yeah, monster. Here's the breakout. They're going up higher. Monster breakout. Now it's up at 25. Oh, my God. I missed this one. Beautiful breakout. SGLB. All right, we'll leave off with SGLB. Oh, we've gone over this one before. Very nice. Monthly chart is very nice. We are at current breaking out or in the process of breaking out. It's still early in the month, so I'm reluctant to say we've broken out. Here's the problem, right? The automated trend lines picked it up. So far in the week, we have broken out. The question is, do we hold it? The market's still strong. Right now, I would say, sure, it's going to hold it. But you never know. So what I would do here is this. I would play it safe. I would lay up. We're trading above the 3D Bollinger Band. We know that generally doesn't last very long, and you're going to get a pullback. So where to with the pullback? Using the automated trend lines right here. Touch, bounce. I'd stay pretty tight with the sensitivity. That doesn't mean simply because we're trading above the 3D Bollinger Band that we can't move up higher. We know that we can, especially with these high beta stocks, but that it generally doesn't last very long. So I'm going to share this chart with you so you have it at your disposal. There you go. And with that, folks, I'm going to say everybody have a profitable trading day. If you could smash that like button, follow the channel, I'd really appreciate it. And everybody have, again, a profitable trading day. Stay well. Talk to you soon.